on the road with the Australian cricket team, thanks to Toyota.
Hi, I'm Shane Watson and welcome to the GM factory here in Nottingham. I'm going to take you through a quick process of how the bats are made. And this is the starting point. Is a piece of big log of English willow with the bark and everything on that's brought into the factory as a starting point. It's divided up and then we move on to the next stage, which is the starting point of the clefts, where then the bats actually start to get shaped. So this is the next step where the wood goes from being the big log, it's taken to the sawmill, and this is the GM's own plantation of English willow that they have. This is where majority of my bats come from. So it's all just sawn in the sawmill, turned into clefts of exactly this shape and size, and then it goes into the factory to then be shaped to individual specifications. So the next stage of the process is grading the willow. So someone's in here going through all the clefts that come into the factory, and as a starting point, the top of the range bat has to make sure that the grains are nice and straight, very even. There's not too much colouring in the wood as well. The next one is the 808, and the wood's just the grains. There's a bit more colour through the wood. The grains are a little bit more wavy. They're not as straight as the LE in the top of the range one, but still a nice piece of wood. So the next step is going in to reduce the moisture in the piece of wood to make it a fair bit lighter. So that'll be the next step. We're really in the wine cellar. It's got a constant temperature here between 20 and 22 degrees, and the humidity as well is around 50% to make sure the wood holds its moisture at a similar sort of rate. So yeah, if you've got a couple of nice bottles of wine, I'm surprised there's any not floating around here. They'll actually age very well. We've also got the handles over here as well. So the handles are a cane with cork and rubber in the middle just for vibration. But the handles also need to be at the same moisture content when they come out of this room as well. Otherwise, if the moisture content's different between the handles and the piece of wood as well, and the willow, it means that there's a few problems in the future, like the handle might shrink a little bit more. The join between the bat and the handle might be some issues. So I made sure the detail between every little step across the way, make sure that the bats come out on top of the range. Okay, the next step in the process is to get the bats pressed. So what the machine does is compacts the wood down. The bats have already been shaped, the face and the edges have already been shaped before they get to this machine, but now it's compacted down so the wood's more chance of holding together. The harder the wood's pressed, then normally the harder the ball feels like it comes off your bat, and also if the wood's a little bit lighter pressed, then it means you actually a little bit more feel coming off the bat. So I like my bats pressed a little bit lighter than normal, but the harder you press them, the longer the bats last as well. So once this process is done, then we move over to the process where the handles are put into the clefts of wood before they're shaped. So there we have it, safety first, so our hands are nowhere near the machine. So now we've got the handle being fitted into the cleft of the wood. So it's being fitted into the splice, so it's a nice tight fit, which it has to be. Certainly don't want the handle falling out of the cleft of wood. So once you actually get the fit perfectly, then we move over to the actual bat getting shaped, which is, for me, the most exciting part. It initially starts in a computer program to be able to get the exact shape of what my specifications are. Everyone's a little bit different with what they want in the shape of their bat and the feel of the bat. But it's a very incredible machine. Goes through the computer, the cleft is in the machine, it goes around after having the specifications that are in the computer, and then comes out to how the individual wants it. So and then from this process, then we go over to the guys who end up finishing off the bat with the bat makers to be able to just shape the bat, finish off the little bits for the toe and the handle as well. But this is definitely my favourite process. You get this right with a beautiful piece of wood, you're absolutely flying. So this is the final process here. We've got Kev, who's been working here at Gunmore for 41 years, who's the bat maker who shapes all the bats, finishes off all the bats. So what he's doing here is after the bats come out of the process of shaping, he just finishes them off in and around the handle, around the toe. Some people have a little bit of special preferences like me, just making sure the toe is nice and flat as well. We had a couple of guys here in a little while ago who had a bit of a crack at trying to shape a bat. Shane Warne and Steve Moore in 1997. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a go. They didn't do that good of a job. We'll leave it up to the experts. But so once it's finished here, once Kev finishes shaping the bat and finishing it off, guys put on the stickers, put the binding around the handle as well. This is a finished product. It's a very exciting process. I love it every step of the way because in the end, it means I can use some of the best bats in the world.